Okay, I am currently filming in here because I'm locked up, but people don't know what the closed-signed means apparently, so they keep trying to get in. So I'm going to start filming our 5-minute history lesson from here. And today I'm going to try to cover the Bear Flag Revolt. So, pre-1769 in California was what is known as the Native American era. Nobody owned the land except the Native Americans. In 1769, the Spanish took over. 1822 was the Mexican era. The Mexicans won independence from Spain, and they established California and surrounding areas as theirs. In 1839, a man named John Sutter builds a fort here at the confluences of the two rivers, the American and the Sacramento, with help from Sonoran Mexicans and Hawaiians. Sorry, it just got really loud. But this is John Sutter, or Johann Augustus. He changed his name, but he was from Germany, right along the border of Switzerland. So he considered himself Swiss. At 31, he left Germany to escape creditors and law officials because he was a very poor businessman, so everything that he started failed. And he left behind his wife and 5 young children. So he came to explore America, and he ended up building his fort, and he became a Mexican citizen to qualify for land grants to build his fort. And his fort had a lot of workshops in it. It had like a blanket factory, it had a bakery, it had a couple blacksmith and silversmith shops, and in the middle was like his 3-story quarters. So in 1845, the Mexican governor appointed him the captain of Sacramento to help against a revolt that was coming on. He fed and clothed the travelers from his crops in the workshops, and people considered him a gracious and generous host. In 1846, an American Army officer and explorer named John C. Fremont arrived at John Sutter's fort with 60 soldiers. Those soldiers and him didn't trust the Mexican leaders at the time, and they feared annexation, so they wanted to rebel. Their plan was to make California its own government and join with the United States. There were a few minor skirmishes, and a lot of them were bloodless, and they ended up winning. But they were unaware that the U.S. had actually declared war on Mexico just a few months prior to their revolt. They created their own flag, and their flag was made out of some red paint they had around, and their shirts, and they painted a bear on it because they kind of wanted to emulate the Texan flag, the Lone Star, and they wrote California Republic on the bottom. And because California was going to be its own independent republic before joining the United States. They hung their flag above the fort for about 25 days until it just kind of petered out, and California became a state in 1850. So they weren't a part of Mexico anymore, and California was kind of its own thing. But it didn't truly become a state until 1850. And in 1911, they actually made that our flag. And the original flag, I believe it's still framed, and it hangs up in Mission San Francisco Solano. So yeah, that is our 5-minute history lesson for today. Thank you for coming to my second TED Talk.